Good morning, Magic! I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast. And just in time for Commander Legends, there's an exciting way to play Commander that's been cooked up by some familiar faces. I've been having a blast with it, and I wanted to tell you all about it today. Let's dig in. Pioneered by the godfather of Commander himself, Sheldon Menery, and the Pro Tour historian emeritus, Brian David Marshall, this way of playing Commander doesn't take into account your collection size. Whether you have a small collection or a large collection, you're a newer player or an older player, it doesn't matter. It's a way of playing Commander we call the Boxing League, and here's how it works. Now, a Boxing League is a league, so you're going to want to have a number of people in it. For ours, we had 13 people in it, which let us switch up people from game to game, but if you only have 4 in your playgroup, that's totally fine too. And keep in mind, with webcam Commander around, your playgroup could be anybody on the internet. So we were playing with people all across the country. Next, as a group, you're going to want to choose the number of weeks it's going to run for. I recommend 4, as that seems to be the sweet spot, but you could go shorter or longer if you wanted to. Okay, now on to how you actually play. First of all, everyone chooses a booster box that was at some point standard legal. So Innistrad and Ixalan are okay, but Conspiracy or Modern Horizons, not so much. Then they crack open that box and build a Commander deck out of just what's in that box, plus basic lands. Now, when you're building your deck out of that box and playing, all normal Commander rules apply. You're gonna want a 100 card deck with a commander, color identity, and so on. I should also probably note that while I'm sure this will work great with a box of Commander Legends, and I recommend checking it out, it's not how normal Commander Legends draft and sealed works. So as you're playing in those events, don't get the two formats confused. Now, after you've built the deck out of that box, you'll want to play a match with other people in your league. And of course, you can play more than one match if you want to, but you should try and play at least one a week or so. So that's week 1. When week 2 rolls around, you get to improve your deck. You pick a different set, one that you haven't chosen before, and you add 6 packs of that set to your card pool. You could even entirely rebuild your deck if you wanted to. And then you play your matches for that week. And if the league is big enough, try to play with people maybe you haven't played with before. Then, each week, you simply repeat the process of adding 6 new packs from a new set to your card pool for that week until the league is over. Now, we all just played for fun, but I will note that if you wanted to get competitive about it, you could assign people points based on how they finished in a match and then have a winner at the end of the league. I'll also note that if a box per player is prohibitive for your playgroup, you could go all the way down to 18 packs per person and still usually have multiple legends to choose from and plenty of cards to build your deck with. So to give you an example of how all this works, I'll tell you about my deck. I started with Core Set 2021, and although I opened up many cool legends, I chose Rada as my commander, which was really cool for me because I don't really play red, green, and commander very often, so it was fun to get to play a little different strategy I wouldn't have played otherwise. But that red, green strategy was a little short-lived. In week 2, I opened up Ikoria and opened up Garuda, Doom of Depths, and switched into that as my commander. It was really cool to switch out my legend between weeks, because I was actually able to go back to my Core Set 2021 box and pull out some cards that couldn't make my Rada deck initially, like Massacre Worm and Sublime Epiphany. Then in week 3, I took a dive into the past with Magic 2012 and opened up some cool throwbacks. And then finally, for my 4th week, War of the Spark. A Planeswalker in every pack is hard to say no to. For me, it really brought back memories of when I started playing Magic. You'd be riffling through your collection looking for a card to play, even if it wasn't totally optimal. I had a blast in this Commander Boxing League. I'll link Sheldon's article explaining it in the show notes as well. So contact your friends and give it a try. Safely, of course. I can't recommend webcam Commander using Spell Table enough. It was really seamless and awesome. And Commander Legends is the perfect time to give this a try. I know I said earlier that we only use sets that were at one point standard legal, but it could be fun to all start with Commander Legends as a base and then build off from there. So, what do you think? Does this kind of thing sound fun to you? Do you have any questions or even suggestions? Let me know in the comments below. I'll talk with you again on Friday, and in the meantime, you have a lot of fun boxing with your friends. You got this. The original version was actually a card that entered the battlefield under your opponent's control, Sleeper Agent style. You gave it to them and then had to attack every single turn, and when you killed it, you got a bonus for doing so. The original bonus was gaining 2 life, drawing 2 cards, making 2 tokens, and putting 2 +1/+1 counters on all of your creatures. There was kind of a twosiness theme running throughout Battle Bond. This version